Hey guys, the Explorer 4 here, the Horror Boy. Welcome back to some more reviews, and today we're going to be getting to one of my favorite sequels of all time. I absolutely love this sequel. It's a movie that for me is the truly well done follow-up. Like, I love Lost World, I really like that movie too, but to me this is the route that I prefer to go. This is my preferred route. This is my preferred sequel, and that of course is Jurassic Park 3. This came out in 2001, gets a 5.9 on IMDb by Joe Johnston. Now, Joe Johnston has also made Jumanji, he's also made The Rocketeer, he's also made the Wolfman remake, a very, very good director. Not a big fan of the Wolfman remake, but at the same time, I do really love Jumanji, I do really love this movie, and I heard some good things about The Rocketeer. So, I know he was good friends with Spielberg, that's how I got the deal to do this movie. I think he wanted to do part 2, but Spielberg ended up making that movie, so when this movie came around, he got the deal to do this movie. Now, before we get into the review, I just want to say it's very cool that I found this, because growing up, I used to watch this and the first movie back to back. Somehow, some way, this has survived me moving and survived losing VHS tapes and selling VHS tapes. Somehow this survived, and that is my original copy of Jurassic Park 3. I love this. This is like, there's so much nostalgia and memories here. Brings me down memory lane. As you guys can see, the wear and tear vintage VHS. Love that poster. Very, very cool. I love everything about it. I love the shadow of the pterodactyl. I love the claw marks for part 3. The Spino. I love the silver and red. The shine to it. I love everything about that VHS. And I love a lot of things about this movie. This is a great sequel. This is a movie that before, maybe on a couple videos, I was like, yeah, this movie does suck. But really, that was me not being honest about my opinion. That was more of me just trying to fit in and say, yeah, this does suck. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it does suck. It's like Spider-Man 3. For a while, there was like, yeah, Spider-Man 3 does suck. Or Alien Resurrection. Yeah, Alien Resurrection does suck. In reality, those are all movies I really enjoy. And over time, I've found a lot of meaning in just forming my own opinion. And, you know, I can be honest and say this is one of my favorite sequels of all time. This, I think, is one of the most fast-paced films out there with some great action. And in my opinion, this is the way that the sequel should have been done. Because, for me, Lost World didn't bring really anything new to the table besides the idea of Site B. You know, you have T-Rexes. This time you got 2, I guess you could say. They got a baby T-Rex in that one, I guess you could say. But here you got pterodactyls, you got the Spinosaurus, you got more of the raptors. You got the idea of having the raptor collar, pretty much the 3D printed vocal cords of the raptors. You've got new environments in this movie. It just felt like there's a lot more new stuff in this movie. And of course you got Sam Neill's character coming back in this movie, Alan's character. This is years after the first movie, and he is doing a lot of speeches where people are very curious about the first movie. They're very curious about the first Jurassic Park incident. They're always asking him questions about that. And basically, he's trying to get out of the shadow of that incident, but somehow it still kind of haunts him. He still has to talk about it almost every day. You have Laura Dern's character. She has gotten a new husband. That's the unfortunate thing, is that her and Alan never really got to, you know, get together and have the kids, because that was something that was mentioned in the first movie. Like, you know, by the beginning of the movie, Alan's character hates kids. By the end of the movie, you know, he's learned to be more patient with kids and stuff like that. So it is a little bit more of a shame that in this movie, him and Laura Dern didn't get to have their family and stuff, but I think it's saved in this movie, because at the same time they don't make it to where him and Laura Dern hate each other and they never talked again, or, you know, what happened to Laura Dern's character? Oh, I don't like her, she was rude and we had to break up. It wasn't like that. It was, they're still friends, they're still polite to each other, they still have respect for each other. It's not like they hate each other. I like that. I like how they're still friends. I like how Laura Dern's character isn't just a cameo. It's, you know, she's there. And the way she helps Alan's character at the end of the movie. which is a big help. So I like that idea. I like how they still kind of include her in the movie. I kind of wish she was still in the movie. I don't know why she was written out like that. Not really written out, but written to the sidelines. I wish it was more of her being the lead as well, like Alan and her, the two leads, and that goes to the rest of the cast. But it is what it is. They did the best they could with what they had in the script. And I just feel like this movie's script is a little bit more better. I feel like it moves at a faster pace. But like I said, Alan, I've gone all over the place, but Alan's character is doing what he did before. He's doing research, digging up dinosaur bones. He has a new assistant, which his name is Billy, played by Alexandro Nivola. And basically they're digging up some bones, and they get approached by William H. Macy's character, and he's saying pretty much how, oh, me and my wife are having an anniversary, and we would love to fly over this island, You can be our guide. This is an anniversary. We want to go to all these places one day, and one place we'd love to go to is the island of Jurassic Park. And of course he says, nah, this is a bad time, I'm not feeling it, don't want to do that. And of course William H. Macy's like, I can write all kinds of numbers on this piece of paper. And Alan ends up going the next scene. And they fly out there. Alan learns that everything is not what it seems. They land there because their son went missing, their son Eric. And they land on the island. They meet the Spinosaurus, and the plane crashes. And what follows is just a huge chase scene, lots of thrills, lots of action, lots of excitement, and some great special effects. And, I can't praise this sequel enough, because this is truly one of the most underrated sequels out there. And I feel like it's an underrated sequel because it's not trying to be anything too grand, and the fact of the story is not trying to be anything too sophisticated. And I don't think it needed that. I think this is the right way to go. You don't need another slow burn movie, because you got that Lost World, and Lost World for me is a little too slow burn. It's a lot of just slow burn, slow moments. You're slowly into the world. The key word is slow. I said like 18,000 times there. But in Lost World, I felt it went too much at a sluggish pace. You already had the first movie, which that movie also, one of the nitpicks I have is that it's a little too, the pace is a little too slow. The second movie felt like it even had a slower pace. But I like how this movie is a fast-paced hour and a half. Not even really an hour and a half. It's more of an hour and 20-something minutes long, because the credits are like 10 minutes long. But hour and 20 minutes goes by at a fast pace. You have a lot of great set pieces and action scenes. The airplane sequence I thought was absolutely amazing. And on Blu-ray, it looked great. This movie, once again, the CGI, I think, ages better in this movie than Lost World. I think this movie CGI holds up a lot better. And in reality, there's only one shot of really noticeable CGI to me, excuse me, where William H. Macy's character is kind of hanging out this beam thing, and he falls, and when he falls, it's in CGI. It's the only, really shoddy CGI effect there, and it's not even a dinosaur. But the rest of the effects look really great. The Spinosaurus looks great. The design of it looks creepy. It looks menacing. It is intense. It is a badass. The new stuff, the fact that you're getting to see more of Site B, this is more about this group on the island, exploring this island, running and getting chased and trying to get from point A to point B. Very simple, but at the same time, you didn't need a sophisticated plot. You didn't need a plot about whether you're talking about Fallen Kingdom or Lost World, which I think has more of those sophisticated plots, where it's involving trading dinosaurs and hunting dinosaurs and corporations and all that. I like it, and how this and the first movie are the basic stories, and even the first movie had a little bit more than just a basic story, but this one is done well, where you're having chase scenes, action sequences. I really think the airplane sequence holds up to this day. It crashes into the trees. You're seeing the Spinosaurus just tear this airplane apart. Still holds up. You're seeing a lot of practical stuff with the Spinosaurus as well. But the airplane sequence, the pterodactyl sequence from the bridge area, where you realize it's actually a cage, like a bird. He's like, Alan Scar's like, this is a bird cage. And one of the characters goes, what? For what? And you see pterodactyls flying around. It's a great introduction to pterodactyls in this movie. And I don't remember them being in the previous movies, so at least I don't remember seeing the previous movies. So in this movie, they really got a lot of screen time. If they were in the last movies, I didn't really notice them that much. But here, it's cool seeing them, and they're very, again, menacing, and, you know, it's a very well done sequence. That was done well. The abandoned laboratory scene with the raptors is done well. The, you know, ending with the battle between the Spinosaurus and this boat, and they get put underwater, they kind of get pinned there, and they start a fire that pretty much makes the Spinosaurus run away. A little bit where I was like, okay, I get it, they set this fire, but the Spinosaurus literally doesn't get burned at all. It literally just says, oh, there's some fire. I can walk around this fire and go and get them, or I can walk away. And it says, nope, I'm walking away. And it's like a little tiny fire. I'm like, okay, that... Oh, alright. There are some moments in the movie that I'm like, okay, really? Really? A raptor doing this? Behind a glass jar? Like, I get it, it's Hollywood, but, like, and then it just unfreezes and goes after one of the characters. I'm like, really? Really? And then they have this scene where they say, oh, the raptors set up a trap. I'm like, they learn how to set up traps. Raptors are setting up traps to humans. It's done well, but at the same time, I'm like, come on, they're dinosaurs. Come on, like, you know, I don't know. Maybe that's how it could go. I don't know. I never had a raptor chase me before, but yeah, I thought that was really interesting the way that was done. Or I'll say this too: the beginning of the movie where you have the shot of the raptor on the plane. Alan, okay, I'll give you it. That's kind of goofy. The ending where you have the eggs and they're calling to the raptors and the military arrives. Alright, I don't know why that scene kind of threw me off. I'm like, wow, the Marines, the Navy, everybody arrives there to rescue them. Like, and it's a good build-up where they have the eggs and they're going to get the eggs back to the raptors, but they have this vocal cord, 3D printed vocal cord of the raptors. And, they're trying to use it to distract them, and then all of a sudden the military just shows up, Navy, Marines, everyone. And then the end of the movie is a little, I don't know why, but it felt a little cheesy, where, you know, they're in the sky, the music's going. It's a beautiful moment where they're in the sky, the music's going, you have pterodactyls flying right next to the helicopter right here. Okay, that's beautiful. Until some dialogue happens where it's like, hey, Alan, I got your hat. And Alan's character's like, that's what matters most. Thank you. And then the kid's like, you know, what are they going to do to these dinosaurs? Like, where are they going? Where's pterodactyls going? And Alan's like, they're going to go and probably find a new nest. And the wife is like, hopefully not back home. And then they all kind of like laugh, and that cheesy laugh, and then they just fly off. And then, of course, they got to say, let's go home. It just felt like a book, literally the book end. Like, seriously, like, cliche bookend there. The sunshine, let's go home. Everybody laughs at one cue. Some awkward jokes, but not a bad scene. Just a scene that I was like, okay, like, you know, it kind of made me laugh, to be honest. But it wasn't anything horrible. It wasn't like I was going, oh my god, it's so terrible. It just something that kind of like, you know, the raptor on the plane didn't really make me mad. It was just something that was like, you know. But the very last shot I like, where you have the pterodactyls in the clouds and the I love that. It's a great shot. But I could just go on and on, man. The acting, the cast, you have Sam Neill, William H. Macy, Tiana Leone, which I didn't think did that bad of a job. The kid who played Eric's character, I thought did a good job. The special effects really impressed me. They're very well done. This and Jurassic World on the same level of special effects, where they're done extremely well. Where the CGI looks great, but they also have practical effects in there. And I know people crap on this movie's practical effects too, like how they say the Spinosaurus is a little too puppetry and a little too clanky. I didn't notice it. It seemed really good. Like, really good and really menacing, too, the size of this puppet. you're seeing like almost a full. Obviously, you're not going to see the full body shot because it's got to have an animatronic somewhere, but you're seeing like the upper body of it go through this plane and the head too. It looked really good. That practical effect, and a lot of the puppetry does look really good. Pterodactyl puppetry, the raptor puppetry, the various practical scenes you see. But even the CGI in this movie ages better than Lost World. Lost World, you had a lot of green screen, a lot of just CGI backgrounds and CGI dinosaurs, not a lot of practical stuff. Here, it's a lot more practical environments, a lot more sets, a lot more practical environments. I guess I could just say that. But it just seemed more realistic. The cinematography is absolutely beautiful in this movie. It looks amazing. The soundtrack of music is great. The theme song, really not any new music, but still very much fits this movie. I love the acting from William H. Macy and Sam Neill, Tia Leone. It was cool seeing characters come back. It was cool seeing Sam Neill back into the series again. I like the Spinosaurus. People hate the Spinosaurus, say, oh, I don't like how it kills a T-Rex. I'm like, well, if the fight was longer, I think it wouldn't have been so, like, kind of like a bad taste, where, because it just goes out, literally hits the T-Rex like a couple times, T-Rex hits it back a couple times, and it just breaks its neck. I kind of wish there was more of a struggle there, because T-Rex, from the first two movies, you know it has this badass, and here it just gets its ass kicked by the Spinosaurus like that. If it was more of a fight, I would appreciate it more. But it doesn't really bother me that much. It's just kind of one of those things where I'm like, alright, here's this new predator, this new dinosaur that was discovered around this time to be a real dinosaur. And the size of it, the design of it, it's got more than a T-Rex. It can swim fast. It's got maneuverability. It's got to where it can even have arm reach more than the T-Rex. So really, it makes sense for the Spinosaurus to take out the T-Rex. And the Spinosaurus was done very well. The CGI looked great. Its destruction scenes are done well. It's very menacing. You buy it as a new predator, the new monster of the movie. And whenever it pops up, it's just tense. It's really intense. So yeah, the Spinosaurus doesn't bother me. I think it's badass. I think it looks cool too. It's got a cool design to it. It just looks awesome. Now, would I prefer the T-Rex? Yes, but Spinosaurus is also badass. You know, so is the Indominus Rex. I also enjoy that dinosaur design too. But, so that's done well. I think it's shot well. I think it's directed very well. Very fast-paced movie. Definitely not boring. I like the character. Excuse me. I like the characters in this movie. Like Billy's character. I like their moments where they're talking and, you know, they're talking about how, you know, I said to Billy's character, the last thing I said was, you know, he's just as bad as the people who made the dinosaurs, but that's not the truth. He was just young, and he was just curious. And I like that scene. I like how Billy sacrifices himself. I like how his character makes mistakes, but he's not an asshole. He's, you know, he makes his mistake. He's trying to redeem himself from that mistake. I like that. So I like the cast. I like the characters. Sometimes the bickering between the two, wife and husband, can kind of get a little bit annoying. Even the people in the movie are like, you know, if I get lost, if we get split up, I'm going with you guys. So I like how they have some humor with that. Like, they even know they're annoying characters. But what I like is they're not annoying characters through the entire movie. They actually have arcs. You know, they start off here. When the movie ends, they're here. When it starts out, they're arguing, they're bickering, they're not working together. Everybody hates each other. By the end of the movie, everybody's working together. They form this team, this bond. I like that. I like there's just, you know, they build characters, they flesh them out in that aspect. So I like the cast. I like the characters. I like this dialogue in certain scenes. I like this one part where it's a line from Sam Neill's character. People are always doing things with the best intentions, but they always have like bad outcomes. Or he says, people do the worst things with the best intentions, or something like that. I love that line. It's a great line. So yeah, this movie, as far as positives go, the poster's badass. It's a fast-paced movie, action-packed, fun. Revisiting this movie again was a blast. I absolutely love this movie. I really do. I'm actually a pretty big fan of this movie. I really don't get the hate for it because the raptor plane stuff and how the raptors are insanely smart in this movie, literally about as smart as a human in this movie. They don't really bother me. The CGI looks great. The puppetry looks great. The action is great. It's thrilling. It's fast. It's got energy to it. It's a A to B kind of movie, but done well. Done very, very well. And green screen doesn't look that bad in this movie. It still looks pretty good. I can't really figure out why it's, hated as much as it is. I mean, this movie is considered one of the worst ones in the series and one of the worst sequels of all time. I will never understand that. This movie, I just listed all that stuff down. I mean, great effects, great acting, great direction, decent story. If I had any problems, I would say maybe like I said, the nitpick of this silly stuff like, the talking raptor, the super smart raptors, everybody says it, the very anticlimactic ending. It is very anticlimactic. It ends very abruptly with the army and military just showing up there. Oh, we're here to save the day. Why? Oh, because Laura Dern called them. I'm like, all right, cool. They gave her something to do. They made her the kind of the hero of the movie, But it's like, wow, they arrived very quickly. Like, that was only a couple scenes ago when they called her. But, I think this be that. Maybe the bickering between the wife and husband sometimes kind of got a little bit old. Really, honestly, I can't think of anything else. Really, just a very solid sequel. One of my favorite sequels of all time. And not just for nostalgia, I named off all reasons why I love this sequel. There's even a funny scene that I like where... And it's also another thing. This movie has humor that works. Lost World felt very dull, very, no energy, no life to it to me. Felt very slow and very dull. Here, the humor works. There's this dead dinosaur and they say, oh, don't worry, it's just dead. And then a T-Rex just pops up. Nobody move a muscle. And they all run, so he runs too. Or they find this giant pile of crap, dino crap, and they find this phone on the inside of the crap, which I think that ringtone's very iconic. Like, I've never heard a phone ring like that before. So that I even like that. It's a good touch to the movie. It's got a good sound. Even the phone had a iconic sound to it, iconic ringtone. But they're digging into this crap, and this, I don't think it's a T-Rex, another dinosaur comes up, looks at them like, you guys are digging through shit right now, and then just turns around and walks away. I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, I mean, as you guys can tell, I'm gushing. I apologize, but I absolutely love Jurassic Park 3. Very good movie, had a lot of great memories rewatching it again. The Spino is awesome. The acting and action is great. The camera work is great. The story is what it should be. Fast-paced, straightforward, gets to the point. I love the CGI and practical effects. They hold up. Action sequences, thrills. Just, to me, a great, fantastic sequel. That is up there at the first movie. I mean, I think it would go first movie, this, World, and then Lost World. And then probably, either Lost World or Fallen King. Those ones kind of can swap either or. But, yeah. Great sequel, man. Love this movie. But anyways, guys, I just did a 25-minute review gushing this movie. But you know what? I'm not ashamed of that. I'm proud of that. Because this movie kicks ass. This is an awesome sequel. And I gladly did this 25-minute review. Which, if I know it's 25 minutes, I apologize. But gladly did it. It was an honor to do it for the sequel. I really love this movie. But Anyways, guys, thanks for watching my review on Jurassic Park 3. What are your guys' thoughts on this movie? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. The Explorer of Horror is out. Peace!